Stop. Right now. Your breath, caught in your chest, do you feel it? That sudden, silent pause in the noise of your world? It wasn't an accident. It wasn't anxiety. It was a seal breaking. In the records of heaven, beside your name, your full name, the one written on your spirit before time began, there was a red seal, a binding, a spiritual embargo. It locked away not just money, but momentum, not just provision, but your very purpose. And 7 seconds ago, it was shattered. My child, my beloved, you need to sit down. You have 3 minutes, and I do not say that to pressure you. I say it as a fact, as real as the heartbeat you feel quickening in your throat. A clock you cannot see has started, a heavenly stopwatch, ticking down not to an end, but to a beginning. This is not a message of fear. This is a message of awakening. For years you have prayed into what felt like a void. You have sown generosity into hard ground. You have dreamed dreams that shriveled in the daylight of your circumstances. You thought it was you. You thought you were unlucky, unworthy, unseen. You were wrong. You were bound. While you slept last night, a case was heard. Not in earthly court, in the high courts of Zion. The adversary stood, pointing to a contract of lack, a ledger of delay, signed in the ink of generational curses and silent agreements you never made. He presented his evidence, every setback, every betrayal, every closed door. He demanded your destiny remain embargoed. But then a gavel fell, not of wood, but of light, and a voice like the sound of many waters spoke your name, and declared, "The debt is paid, the seal is broken, let the mandate be released." My child, my beloved, this message, this very word finding your eyes, is the proof of that ruling. It is the legal notification from the kingdom. It was intercepted 3 times. Dark agents, angels of delay and distraction, tried to delete it, to bury it in the noise. They know what this unlocks. But the archivist of heaven, under the direct command of Michael himself, rerouted it, placed it here, now, for you. You have 3 minutes, not because God is impatient, but because the transfer window is open. The heavenly escrow account in your name is now active, and the first download, the revelation of what has been held, must be received now to activate the rest. Do not scroll. Do not let your mind wander to the laundry, the bill, the email. Those are old echoes from a prison whose door is now open. Do not walk back into the cell. Stay here, breathe, and in the silence of your spirit, say yes. That tightness in your chest, that is not panic, it is recognition. Your spirit is leaping ahead of your mind because it knows what I am about to show you. It has waited for this key to turn in a lock you thought was rusted shut. The mandate released in your name is not a check. It is a title deed. It is the legal, spiritual documentation for 3 inheritances stolen from your bloodline. Heaven has just repossessed them in your favor. Listen, see them in your spirit. First, the Ancestral Farm. This is not dirt and crops. This is your foundational creativity. The plot of land in the spirit where your family's original God-given ingenuity was meant to be cultivated. A great-grandparent had a gift for building, for healing, for storytelling, for invention. It was stolen through a bad deal, a lie, a marriage that carried a curse of silence. That creative land was fenced off. You have felt it. The ideas that come and then wither. The projects that start with fire and die in a fog of confusion. That was not you. That was you trying to farm on borrowed, barren land. The deed to your true creative soil has just been stamped, restored. Second, the dream deed.
This is the blueprint of your life's purpose, the architectural plan for your days. It was filed in heaven the day you were conceived, but an enemy, wearing the face of a friend or a family member, accessed the archive. They saw the grandeur of it, the travels, the influence, the homes, the platforms, and they were jealous. They did not steal the paper, they stole your belief in the paper. They spoke words that made the blueprint seem foolish, impossible, arrogant. Who do you think you are? They folded the deed and buried it under their own insecurities. Every time you've shrunk your dream to a manageable size, you were living on a counterfeit plot. The original dream deed is now in my hand. Your name is on it, in bold golden script. It is reissued. Third, the creative well. Deep in the core of your being, there is a wellspring. It is the source of your joy, your resilience, your unstoppable flow. It was meant to water every other area of your life. Someone, a partner, a colleague, a parent, poisoned it. They did it slowly, a critical comment here, a dismissed emotion there, a taken for granted expectation. Drop by toxic drop, they contaminated the water until you stopped drinking from it. You started drawing from the muddy puddles of others' approval, striving, and cheap validation. That is why you are so deeply, soul tired, the fatigue that sleep does not fix. I have just watched an angel of healing plunge a vial of living fire, the very breath of God, into that well. The waters are churning, boiling away the poison. They are becoming clear again. The title to that well now reads, Cleansed and Secured. My child, my beloved, this was the first download, the revelation of what was taken. In the next moment, I will show you who, and the moment you see, not with your eyes, but with your spirit, the final legal chain on the transfer will snap. Do not look away. Do not break the connection. Breathe in and say aloud, even in a whisper, I receive the revelation. I reclaim the deed. Now, let the names be revealed.
The silence you hear now, that is the sound of the court in session. The witnesses have been dismissed. The arguments are done. All other noise in the heavens has been muted for this one pronouncement. You have asked in the quiet tears of your pillow, who, why me? The answer was not withheld from you, it was guarded for you. Because to know prematurely, without the legal standing of this mandate in your hand, would have been a poison. It would have bred hatred, a root that would have choked the very harvest now due to you. But now, you are no longer a victim pleading a case. You are an heir receiving a report. The first face is not a stranger. It is a silhouette you know by heart, the shape that stood in the doorway of your childhood or sat across from you at a family table. The first, the silencer. This is the one who heard your first song and called it noise, who saw your first drawing and asked for a practical career, who witnessed your early joy and named it frivolity. Their weapon was not a knife, but a shrug. Their theft was not of a thing, but of a sound, the unique frequency of your original voice. They enforced a mute button on your soul with phrases that became your inner script. Don't be dramatic, be realistic. That's not how we do things. They did not hate you in a warped way. They thought they were protecting you. The silence you hear now, that is the sound of the court in session. The witnesses have been dismissed. The arguments are done. All other noise in the heavens has been muted for this one pronouncement. You have asked in the quiet tears of your pillow, who, why me? The answer was not withheld from you, it was guarded for you. Because to know prematurely, without the legal standing of this mandate in your hand, would have been a poison. It would have bred hatred, a root that would have choked the very harvest now due to you. But now, You are no longer a victim pleading a case. You are an heir receiving a report. The first face is not a stranger. It is a silhouette you know by heart, the shape that stood in the doorway of your childhood or sat across from you at a family table. The first, the silencer. This is the one who heard your first song and called it noise, who saw your first drawing and asked for a practical career, who witnessed your early joy and named it frivolity. Their weapon was not a knife, but a shrug. Their theft was not of a thing, but of a sound, the unique frequency of your original voice. They enforced a mute button on your soul with phrases that became your inner script. Don't be dramatic, be realistic. That's not how we do things. They did not hate you in a warped way. They thought they were protecting you. But in the spiritual ledger, every time you bit back a true word, swallowed a holy idea, or made yourself small to fit their comfort, a credit was added to their account from yours. The Ancestral Farm did not fall to an enemy raider. It was signed away, line by line, in these small treaties of silence. You will know them now, not with rage, but with a shocking divine clarity. A face will flash in your mind, a name will echo in your spirit. Do not recoil. This is not for confrontation. This is for identification. The lien they held on your creativity is now vacated. The sound of a large ancient parchment being unscrolled. The second, the Divertor. This one is harder to see. Their face is kind. Their help was timely. They stepped in when you were overwhelmed. They offered to carry the dream for a while. The business idea you shared in confidence, the care of an elder, the management of a resource, the connection you needed. They took the seed of your opportunity and planted it in their own garden. They watered it with your effort, but raised their own flag over the harvest. You saw the fruit growing and felt a confused gratitude, a sense that something was off, but you silenced the doubt, calling it selfish. That unease was the cry of your stolen destiny. The dream deed was not lost, it was photocopied, and the copy was handed to you while they filed the original under their own name. Look at the relationships where you feel a lingering debt, a tangled obligation that never cleanses, where you are perpetually thankful but perpetually drained. There, the Divertor sits. The court has now examined the true signature on the deed. The assignment is reversed. A single clear chime, like a gentle bell, struck once. The third, the Gatekeeper. This is the most painful revelation, for this one holds a key that is rightfully yours, a family story withheld, an inheritance of information, a trade, a skill, a spiritual insight that was meant to be passed to you at a specific age, a blessing that was intercepted. They stood at the door of your legacy and told you the way was shut, that the treasure was not for you, that you were not ready, not worthy, not the right gender, not the right age. They may have even done it with a smile, a pat on the head, saying, "This is for your own good." All the while, they or their children lived off the interest of what was yours. This blocked your access to the creative well. You have been digging in dry ground, thinking you were in the right place. The fatigue you carry, it is the exhaustion of digging in a cemented-over wellspring. The Gatekeeper's authority to block you has just been revoked. My child, my beloved, do you see? This was not a random misfortune. This was a structured dismantling. But hear this, and let it sink into the core of your being. The court has not revealed this for you to wage war. Your warfare is not with flesh and blood. The verdict is already executed. The silencer will find their own words catching in their throat until they speak a blessing over you. The Divertor will see their gardens grow fallow as the nutrients return to your soil. The Gatekeeper will stand before a door they cannot open until they surrender the key. Your instruction is simple.
Do nothing. Do not confront, do not accuse, do not even speak of this revelation to the air around you. To speak it prematurely is to give the enemy a legal loophole. Your sacred silence now is your supreme authority. The 3 minutes are past. The first transfer is complete. You have received the what and the who. Now the final, most critical phase begins. The 72-hour prophetic window is now initiated upon your acknowledgement. If you are ready to step into the protocol of possession, if you are ready for the instructions that will cause the spiritual deed to materialize in your hands, say aloud, with the authority of an heir who has just read their own file, I acknowledge the verdict. I enter the window. The moment you spoke those words, a light ignited in the archive of your destiny. A single brilliant lamp that had been dimmed for seasons is now burning at full strength. The angels assigned to your case, who have been in a posture of watchful waiting, have just snapped to attention. The 72-hour prophetic window is not a test of your patience. It is a divine acceleration chamber. In the natural, 72 hours is 3 days. In the spirit, it is a complete cycle of creation, from void to fullness. This is the time frame heaven has sanctioned to compress years of delayed justice into a manageable, miraculous sequence. You will not be asked to climb a mountain. You will be asked to take 3 deliberate steps. Each step corresponds to a day. Each day reclaims one of the stolen inheritances. Step 1. The clearing. Day 1. Reclaiming the ancestral farm. Today, heaven begins the eviction of squatters from your creative land. You will feel it as a sudden, strange detachment. A relationship that has always felt heavy and draining will suddenly feel light, or it will simply fade from your immediate thoughts. This is not you being cold. This is heaven severing an ungodly soul tie that was leaching your creative soil. Your physical act. Before sunset today, you will perform a physical act of clearing. Clean one drawer. Delete one old unused app from your phone. Empty the trash bin in your kitchen. As you do this, say aloud, I clear the old to make space for the new creation. My land is reclaimed. This is not symbolic, it is synergistic. Your physical action authorizes the spiritual eviction. Step 2. The download. Day 2. Receiving the dream deed. Tonight, as you sleep, you will be taken into the architectural chamber of heaven. Your original blueprint will be laid before you. You may not remember the dream in detail, but you will wake with 2 things: a profound sense of certainty about a direction you've doubted, and a sudden specific idea, a solution, a name, a first step that seems to download into your mind fully formed, as if you remembered something you'd always known. Your physical act. Keep a notebook and pen by your bed. Upon waking,
Write it down immediately. Do not filter it. Do not judge its size. Then, today, you will speak to that idea. Say aloud, I receive and acknowledge the blueprint. I am in alignment with my original design. This verbal receipt is the signature that activates the next phase of construction. Step 3. The activation. Day 3. Tapping the cleansed well. Tomorrow, the energy returns. The weariness that lives in your bones will begin to lift. You will feel a surge of want to, replacing the perpetual have to. This is the water from your well, now clean, reaching the surface. A tangible financial sign will also appear. It may be small in amount, but significant in its timing, in symbolism. A refund, a forgotten debt repaid, an unexpected discount on a necessary thing. It is the first trickle of the restored flow. Your physical act. When you identify this sign, and you will know it, you must not spend it. You must seed it. Give a portion of it away immediately, to a charity, to a person in need as an offering. Say aloud as you do, I activate the flow. I am not a reservoir. I am a conduit. The well is open. This breaks the spirit of poverty and establishes you as a steward, not a beggar. Warning: the counterattack. At some point in these 72 hours, likely near the end of day 2, a familiar voice will speak. It will be the voice of the old narrative. It will say, "This is nonsense. You're making it up. Nothing is changing." It may manifest as a minor frustration, a sudden doubt, or a critic's word. Recognize it. This is the last gasp of the broken seal. Do not argue with it. Simply respond aloud. The verdict is final. The mandate is mine. This is you serving legal notice to the opposition. My child, my beloved, you are no longer a petitioner. You are a governor stepping into your jurisdiction. The protocol is set. The window is open. Heaven is not just cheering for you, it is operational for you. From this moment forward, your obedience is not about pleading, it is about partnership. The next words I speak will be the decree of completion, the final spoken key that locks this mandate into your earthly timeline. You will know when you are ready to hear it. Until then, walk in the steps. Clear, receive, activate. The clock starts now. The hour of partnership has come. You have obeyed. You have acknowledged. You have stepped into the window. Now, stand still. For what happens next does not require your striving. It requires your receiving. The greatest work of these 72 hours will not be done by your hands, but by your surrender to the machinery of heaven now engaged on your behalf. I am about to speak the decree of completion. These words are not poetry. They are legal transcripts from the High Court, translated into your language. As they are spoken, they will perform 3 final actions in the Spirit. They will notarize the restored deeds in your name, making them immune to future challenge. They will dispatch the Angelic Enforcement Division, the Malachim HaPikadon, the angels of the entrusted thing, to physically secure the pathways of your blessing. They will ignite the dormant seeds of your inheritance that have lain dormant in the soil of your life, commanding them to sprout now. You must speak this aloud with me. Do not merely read it. Give it breath. Give it sound. For faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word. And this is your word now. A brief, potent pause. Then the voice begins the decree, slowly, with immense weight behind each phrase. The listener should feel compelled to speak along. The decree of completion. By the authority of the court of heaven, and under the blood-sealed covenant that cannot be broken, I now step into my full and lawful inheritance. I declare the ancestral farm restored to my stewardship. Every seed of creativity ever stolen is returned 7-fold. The soil of my mind and heart is fertile, protected, and productive. From this day, I build what heaven has designed. I declare the dream deed active and binding. Every blueprint, every plan, every divine purpose delayed is now accelerated. The path before me is cleared, illuminated, and divinely navigated. I walk in the full authority of my original design. I declare the creative well open and flowing. The waters of joy, resilience, and unstoppable life are cleansed and rising. I drink deeply from my own source. My weariness is replaced by everlasting flow. I revoke, renounce, and render void every claim, lien, or assignment made against my inheritance by the silencer, the divertor, or the gatekeeper. Their legal standing is nullified by the higher verdict. I release them to the mercy of the court, and I walk free without bitterness. I now receive and welcome the Angelic Enforcement Division, the Malachim HaPikadon. Secure the pathways, guard the shipments, dismantle every roadblock. Your assignment is confirmed by my declaration. And I decree into the atmosphere of my life, my home, and my future. The 72-hour window is a portal of manifestation. What is written in heaven is now established on earth. The transfer is complete. The mandate is active. I am not who I was. I am the heir, awake. So be it. Amen. The chorus of harmonious tones swells and then suddenly cuts to absolute, pristine silence. The voice returns, intimate once more, thick with emotion. It is done. The scroll is rolled, the seal is placed, not of red wax forbidding access, but of golden light guaranteeing it. My child, my beloved, look at your hands. They are empty no longer. Can you feel it? The weight of the title, the texture of the promise. It is yours. Now live from this reality. The next 3 days will unfold as described. Watch for the signs, perform the acts, speak the words. You are no longer fighting for a blessing. You are living from the blessing that is already yours. When the financial sign comes, and it will, remember, it is not the source. It is simply the first receipt proving the account is open. When the idea downloads, and it will, remember, it is not a random thought. It is a fragment of your blueprint arriving on schedule. When the energy returns, and it will, remember, you are not just getting by. You are getting back everything that was siphoned away. This message is now a covenant between you and heaven. You may close this page, but the window remains open. The decree echoes in the realm of the spirit, reverberating through your future. Go. Walk as the heir you have always been. Farewell, and watch. Before I go, before the connection shifts from this sacred channel to the quiet, everyday voice of your own spirit, there is one more thing. It is not a decree. It is a conversation. You have borne the weight of this secrecy for so long, the loneliness of a dream you couldn't explain, the ache of a delay that felt like a personal failure. You built a shell around that ache, a shell of busyness, of humor, of helping others while your own well was dry. You became a fortress, thinking it was strength, but a fortress is still a prison. The decree you just spoke wasn't just for the courts of heaven. It was for the court of your own heart.
It was the final blow to the shell. So let it crack. Let the feeling you've been pushing down, the grief for the years you feel were lost, the quiet anger at the betrayals you sensed but couldn't prove, the sheer exhaustion of holding it all together. Let it surface, not as a storm to drown you, but as a tide to cleanse the shore. Heaven is not afraid of your tears. It collects them. Each one is a currency in this kingdom, and today they are being exchanged for the oil of joy. I see you, not the you of your resume, your social mask, or even your prayer list. I see the you that sits in the car after work, staring at nothing. The you that wonders, in a flash of terrible honesty, is this all there is? That you. That is the one heaven has been fighting for. The billions, the deeds, the mandates, they are not for a statue. They are for that person in the car. To buy back their time, to restore their laughter, to give them mornings filled with purpose, not dread. To turn their surviving into a story so glorious it will heal generations behind and before them. So in these final moments of our connection, I need you to do one last human thing. Put your hand over your heart. Feel it beat. That rhythm is the drum of your victory march, already playing in the spirit. Now, speak this not as a warrior, but as a child finally coming home. I allow the shell to crack. I release the years of silent ache. I receive my joy back. I am ready for the new day. A gentle, healing frequency weaves into the background like sunlight made into sound. Good. Now, listen. Do you hear that? Beneath the hum of your appliances, the distant traffic, the rhythm of your own breath. It is the sound of new beginnings. It is the quiet, mighty rustle of the scroll of your life, turning to a fresh, clean page. And at the top, it is no longer blank. It is pre-written with one word in the handwriting of heaven itself. Fulfilled. Your 72 hours have already begun. You are not alone in them. You are surrounded by a cloud of witnesses, ancestors who prayed for this, angels assigned to this, and a Father who has been leaning forward, waiting for this moment. The conversation now changes. You will hear me not in a voice like this, but in the sudden knowing in your gut, in the unexpected scripture that leaps off the page, in the song that plays at the right time, in the peace that defies logic. You are loved, you are believed in, you are free. Now, go live like it. One last thing. The mandate is active. The decree is law. But remember this above all. The greatest treasure you have received in this hour is not what has been restored to you. It is what has been restored in you. Your faith, your voice, your rightful expectation of glory. The seasons of silence are over. The drought is broken. From this moment forward, you do not hope for miracles. You expect them. You do not pray for provision. You thank me for it, even before you see it. You are no longer a stranger to the language of heaven. You are a fluent speaker. Go now. The page is turned. The story is new. And the first sentence begins with your next breath.